Hello everyone, welcome to Literature Warriors. So today I'm gonna discuss the themes of the poem The Terrorist He is Watching by Wislawa Szymborska. So earlier I have discussed the poem with you and I think you have an idea about the poem now. So today I'm gonna go with the themes of the poem The Terrorist He is Watching. Well, the first and the main theme of the poem is terrorism and violence. So my first point there, terrorism and the brainwashed, heartless creatures it has produced, caring for nothing and nobody away from reality. Terrorism is a brutal act. So only the heartless people, the brutal people can promote terrorism and violence. So both of these two elements, terrorism and violence, has produced some people with misconceptions. They have been brainwashed and they have become heartless and they do not care for anything or anybody. They are just away from the realistic lifestyle. They have trained to become, the terrorists have been trained to become haters, and they have been filled with the misconceptions towards the human beings and the society, everything. So it has produced a set of people with cannibalistic qualities. Well, my second point, terrorism and violence have become common in modern society. Now just think, in the modern society we hear crimes, lot of crimes, kidnappings, murderings and bomb blastings, massacres, everything. So all these belong to violence and terrorism. So now as Sri Lankans, we have experienced 30 years war. The LTTE cadres were fighting and they were massacring thousands of people just to achieve a separate territory. So just think about their minds, how senseless they are, and their minds have been filled with the brutal acts, and they are heartless creatures. They have become heartless creatures when they are doing that. And recently we have experienced the last year, it was Easter bombings, and hundreds of people have been died there, and that was something else. It's something about a misconception towards the religion. So there are several things that the terrorists promote violence and terrorism because they have a kind of misconceptions toward the society, and only a heartless creature can watch the other people dying. So this poem is also something like that. The terrorist is watching over the death of hundreds of people. Well, I have quoted some of the lines from the poem. So the first stanza itself is there. The bomb in the bar will explode at 13:20. Now it's just 13:16. There's still time for some to go in and some to come out. So here the poetess just reports the bomb in the bar will explode at 13:20. Now normally something like this, something destructive and something very emotional is gonna happen here. So normally the poets commenting over something destructive or something crucial, but here the poetess just reports what's gonna happen because this has become something normal and something common in the society. So it's not a new thing for the poetess as well. Then what a weave, just like movies. Now see, watching a movie is something very common and it's normal. So for the terrorist also, watching this blast is kind of watching a movie, because people are going in and out. Now he is watching how they are gonna die. We'll see when they carry them out. See the situation. Now those who have walked on their feet into the bar, they will definitely come, they will have to be carried out, because after the blast they will be either dead or wounded. The bomb, it explodes, so it's also something, it explodes and there will be something really destructive. The poet doesn't say something like that. The poet just reports the bomb, it explodes. That shows how common it has become. It's just like the girl, she dances, the bomb, it explodes. Well, let's move on to the next theme. It's uncertainty of life. Now this is something universal, because we all know about our lives and they are uncertain. So my first point, this is rather philosophic, as the poem discovers the fragility of life and destiny. In a second, a person going through his daily work can have his life snuffed out. So this is a philosophy, because everyone's life is not certain. Anywhere you may have your death anywhere you go. So it's the life is really fragile, and the destiny, we cannot define our destiny. So in a second, the person who is now, you may go to several places, you may go to fulfill your needs, and you may go to do your job, and maybe for your studies. Anywhere you might be snuffed out in a moment, in a second. So without the knowledge, a person can be exposed to deadly dangers, or can walk away to safety with no idea of what they had escaped from. Now we know such cases, because in a second is enough to define our destiny. So now see, I have quoted these lines. A woman in yellow jacket, she is going in. She doesn't know, without her knowledge, she is going in. She doesn't know that there will be a blast in a few minutes. So she is going to be a victim there. Then 13, 17 and 4 seconds. The short one, he is lucky, he is getting on a scooter. He also doesn't know that there will be a bombing, but some mysterious power has taken him away. He is getting on a scooter and he is going away from the scene. So it is something we cannot explain, because it happens mysteriously. That is life, that is philosophy. The next point, life is precious, but the slightest decision can change everything. It's also connected with the idea that I have talked before, because sometimes without our knowledge we become victims, and sometimes we become safe. So here, even a slightest decision can change everything. Now see this, at 13:20 minus 10 seconds, he goes back in for his crummy gloves. What is crummy gloves? Means unpleasant gloves. So for this little thing, he is changing his mind to go in. If he doesn't go there, if he didn't go in for his unpleasant gloves, he'll be saved. But that decision have changed his life. Well, then the next point, the countdown from the beginning of the poem to the end also stresses the uncertainty of life. Now from the beginning to the end, the countdown moves on, the countdown continues, and it stresses the uncertainty of life. Each minute, each second is uncertain because we don't know what will happen in the next minute and next second. So I have quoted the countdown here. Now it's just 13:16, 13:17 and 4 seconds, 13:17 and 40 seconds, 13:18, 13:19, 13:20 minus 10 seconds, 13:20 exactly, and any second now. So well, see, each second is important in our life to define our destiny because the life is really uncertain. Well, let me move on to the next topic, cruelty and brutality of human beings. So this is something connected with violence because brutality and cruelty have created through the brainwashed people. Well, my first point is the poetess focuses attention of the dehumanizing effects of materialism and dangerous ideologies and obsessions. Well, so you can see this person, the terrorist, is crossing the street and watching over the death of the others. He is in a safe place. So that is something really brutal, and he is a cruel person. He is a heartless person. That's why he can see others dying. So it's actually dehumanizing. He has been dehumanized. Next point. The terrorist's main and sole target is to see the death of everyone in the bar and to create confusion among public, ordinary people. He is mercilessly watching the destruction of human lives. So see the quotation, the stanza I have quoted. The terrorist has already crossed the street. The distance keeps him out of danger, and water weave just like movies. So you can see how pathetic the situation is. He is really merciless because he is watching the destruction. He is curious to watch the destruction of the others, the death of everyone. And a terrorist wants to disturb and make confusions, commotions over the lives of public, ordinary people, and he is having some absurd happiness from it. He is curious over it, and he is happy when the people have been died. Well, so this is what happened in the modern society as well, because the people have become very cruel and brutal in the society. They have they have become the animals in the jungle. That's how the society works out now. Well, I have already discussed the 3 topics here because these are the main topics in the poem. So let me revise you again. Terrorism and violence, uncertainty of life, cruelty and brutality of human beings. These are the key topics, the major themes of the poem. So that's why I have discussed them only. I will be giving you some other themes in my notes, and if you need the notes, you can follow me in Facebook. I have mentioned the link under this video, so you can contact me to have the notes. And well, this is the end of my presentation about the themes of the poem The Terrorist Is Watching. So thank you for watching, and I will be coming up with the techniques of the poem and also with many other poems from all our literature syllabus. Thank you everyone.